How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to Weirdos Assemble. It's been a little bit since we've excuse me, it's been a little bit since we've done it this way. After the Weirdos Assemble camp out in Tennessee a couple weeks ago in conjunction with TMMR, we decided to take a week off and recuperate. But here we are. I am joined tonight by Nothing at Random, Rowdy Yeats, Rainy Rider, Steve, the owner of Indie Ridge, The Loose Juice, and the Mad Yankee. So, how is everybody's night? Or week, actually. Week been. Yeah, let's start with the week. Yeah. Hang on, everybody's saying that it's muted for some reason. What is going on? We are not doing a do-over. That is for certain. Okay.
The mic's hidden off camera. I guess you guys have.
Now, chat, can you hear us now?
Just using Apple headphones, honestly.
Sydney
Say,
likes to show her microphone.
When I listened to stream, the only person I didn't hear was Rainy.
You hear me
I'll
now?
swap the Discord audio over to a different signal. I'm just waiting for chat to be like, actually, yay or nay. Okay, now we're good. Rainy, start again.
Hi. Hi, this is Rainy. Welcome to the channel. So yeah,
He has a new
now,
job.
Getting a lot of sun in my new job, and it's been great. I have missed you guys. It's funny how Steve, I wish you would have been with us because this was the best weekend we spent 2 weeks ago, and we had so much fun. It really was tearful. It's just like in Goon's video, it was actually tearful when we left, and it's like I won't be able to see you guys again until July.
I don't know what you're
It
talking
was
about.
very sad.
No tears were shed. Huh? You have no
Of course
proof.
not. There's no crying in baseball, right?
It was
I cry a lot in LA in baseball.
In LA, I'm sure you do. mostly in traffic.
It was an
Well, there's lots of reasons to cry in baseball in LA, but traffic, that's one of them too. Yeah, it looked really fun. I saw the pictures. Kind of sucks that you guys all live within kind of relatively close to each other. I'm out here on the left coast.
So welcome anytime.
I'll be on the right
Define
coast next year.
relatively close.
So,
Hey, Chris. Miss you too, buddy.
that
You're
was
more
a
than
good
welcome
time.
to come on anytime. But yeah, I was gonna tell you guys yesterday, but I've been busy. We will be moving to South Carolina in January. job has spoken. So, better riding weather, I guess.
What are you doing out there?
I got drill sergeant orders. And it was between South Carolina or Georgia. So I was like, eh.
Oh,
So in the Army, do you wear a gray rope until you're fully qualified like you do in the Navy?
I'll find out.
What is your drill instructor rope? What color is it?
I don't have a rope. All drills wear the same little thing on the
I do have
hat.
insignia.
But
Got it.
the infantry put the blue disc around it. No, I don't think any other branch does that. Like any MOS, I mean.
We have a blue symbol around our instructor badge, or our chest badge with our nameplate. And so yeah, when you're in training, you wear a red rope that has a gray weave into it. When you're a fully qualified instructor, you get a red rope.
Interesting. Well, yeah. My channel update is we're going from Tennessee to South Carolina. It's literally the only difference that anybody's going to notice. I'm not going to change my content.
well,
On the
listen.
bright side,
We'll still be here.
on the bright side, you're going to be a little bit closer to FA.
Yeah, when I can go.
Listen, the last time I drove through South Carolina, I saw a shitload of deer standing on the side of those fields. So if you move there and you don't call me, I'm gonna hunt you down anyway.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Chris.
Palm trees, bro.
Yep.
Just saying.
You friggin' better.
An ocean,
Oh
which
yeah.
is nice.
So good. We had an interesting conversation today, me and Steve, about how to prove you're in the military. What's the easiest way to prove
Yeah.
you've been in the military?
Well, because I get a lot of emails. Not yet. So, oh yeah, we can. We can have anything we want.
Okay.
I get a lot of emails asking if we offer a military discount. And first off, what would you guys expect a military discount to be percentage-wise? Because evidently, like, mine's way too much.
First of all, I would never expect a military discount.
I know. But if you absolutely offer, they say, "Oh, hey, and you know, and they knew that we offer this. This is how much you get off." Consensus?
Usually places will give, like, for anything like students and stuff, they'll give a 10%, and then for military they give just a little bit more, like 15-20%.
Okay, good. So
Even
that's
that, yeah, that's plenty.
So I'm at 15%, and all I asked for is like a modicum of proof that matches like a name to a street address or something that, like, and you know, you kind of got to be a dick to like ask for it and not back it up. So I got one today, and you know, I asked. It sounded kind of weird. And so I was like, yeah, do you have any kind of like, just any kind of proof will do. And he sent me this, again, I don't know if I can share my screen, but he sent me this weird ass, I don't know, Mike, you want to describe it?
Yeah, he sent a DD214, a very top corner of it, that all it shows is the document number, DD214, and the guy's name. And that's all it showed. And the date you saw is the actual date of the document. So even when I got out, so I actually retired in 2017, that the document, the updated document for that was probably, I don't know, 12. So seeing one from, what was yours, 1971 or something? Even when
79.
Yeah, so it's been updated since then. So it looks like he might have gotten an old PDF format or something. But first thing they'll tell you is, so when you get your DD214, it comes in like 5 pages. You get page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. The page 4 is the short document. It's the one that you actually give out when you want prove you've been in the military. So that's what you get into the VFW with. That's what you get into any veterans cards with. So not wanting to show that page 4 is a dead giveaway. The guy probably was not actually in. He's probably using a corner of someone else's DD214 or a fillable document.
Okay, so what is okay? So I'm looking at the form. It says form DD 214, form 1 July 79. What does the 1 July 79 mean?
That's just
That's
the
the-
document. That's when they publish the document for use.
That's the last time that document was updated, the one that he's using. So let's say DD 214 probably gets revamped every 5 years. So every 5 years, that date would change by 5 years. So if someone were to get out of the military today, that document number, that document date would have been updated probably in the last 4 years at least. So,
So 79, maybe we're talking 85, right?
yeah, but that's why I'm saying if he would have shared the entire, the page 4 is considered your safe document. It usually doesn't contain your social security number. It contains the date you came in, date you got out, and then any service stations you were at, and then any of your awards. That's actually totally safe to share. So just showing.
And then
that
he gave me a picture.
that was a giveaway.
Yeah, it was just like this. It was it was like a sliver of a name that just had a name and Lejeune North. I'm assuming North. I don't even know where Lejeune is, but and then some dog tags that were I don't even
Dog tags you get printed at the county fair. That's not
correct. And those look like, I mean, I have my grandpa's dog tags from Korea, and they look a hell of a lot different.
I thought that too. I thought those looked very new. Or
Yeah, exactly. From something. So Mike said, ask him to see like if he can send the top of page 4. And then he very quickly sent me an email back saying, that's fine, Steve, don't worry about it. I normally don't like to ask for military discount anyway. Sent from my iPhone.
Mhm.
All right. So,
I can promise
and
you when
his,
I got out, I had 20
his
copies
email-
of my page 4 printed when I got out because I knew I had to share them.
yeah, his email was jarheadusmc, which is odd in the first place. And then like so like that's what it presented itself, jarhead. And then his actual email address was usmc1566@gmail.com. So it was like a lot of like, it doesn't seem like something that you would do.
I'll say it. That sounds like a lot of poser stuff. That sounds like somebody trying to really push themselves to be accepted as a veteran.
Or
I know
like
very
they're-
few people who have their email is anything military. So
Yeah, that's what I would think. Like calling it Jarhead at USMC sounds like, hey man, I was definitely not in the Marines.
or they just entered and
Um,
haven't gone to MEPS yet, or am I wrong, Goon? That's usually stuff people do when they first enter and go, I'm so proud, I'm going to join the military, and they get an email address, or they'll get, a bunch of stickers, and they start wearing hats, and after they're in, they're like, well, this is bullshit.
My first unit.
Well, he
used to
says
give
that's
me-
fine.
My first unit used to give me shit when I put my email on some of my stuff because there's 82 in it, and my first unit was the 82nd Airborne. I was, oh, damn it!
But you were born in 82, right?
No, that was my football number.
Not even. Born in 92?
Mhm.
Kidding.
You're not wrong.
It was just odd.
Excuse me.
You guys are making
yeah.
my dad feel old.
I try not to jump on people who I think are false, because you never know when somebody's trying to, they may be legitimately military, but when they come out so strong as trying to prove they're military, or trying to prove they've been in combat, or trying to prove they've deployed, it's like, okay, the harder you try to push this to try to prove to me that you are, the more I don't believe you really are.
Yeah.
Likely a
And
stolen
that was
valor.
actually,
You think, Goon?
yeah, that was actually the first person that I was like, this is odd. Like let me ask Mike, because
There was one.
This one feels a
Stephanie sent
little.
me- Stephanie sent me one. The guy was mad because we didn't have a military discount. I think you had chimed in later, and Stephanie was like, "Okay, fine, I'll just give you." She made up a discount. As far as, fine, okay, I'll send you a discount. And the dude was still mad because it wasn't enough. And it's like, really? This is what you get for trying to help somebody? I mean, that's when I usually go, yeah, this is just they're bullshit guys just trying to get a fake.
There are those people. I mean, the majority of people would never think to do that kind of stuff, but there are those people that come on the site and try to get stuff for 15% off was my Memorial Day sale,
and that's a chunk. That's a big chunk. It really is.
And so, yeah, it's if you get pissy with me or Steph, and I see that you've been rude to Steph, Steph especially because she's so nice, I can take it. Usually, I tell people who are upset in an email, and I'm clearly not at fault, because if I'm at fault, I'll say I'll definitely cop up to it.
Chase?
I'm not at fault. I'll tell them, hey, I'll be in the office until about 10 o'clock Pacific, which is later than anyone is, going to be up. You have no excuse, and you can call this number, and we'll speak. But if you're a dick to Steph, you get a little name, you get a little note next to your name. It says cancel order, do not deliver.
Absolutely, you don't mess with the sweet people.
I
She is
can get behind that.
very nice. She is very nice.
She's always been nice to me when
She
I've been
is.
emailing, but I try not to bother people, so I don't email very often.
And you
Yeah,
guys should it's like I've got so much on my plate, and she's got so much on her plate. It's it's there for a reason. I don't know how the Crow 3s. I know they're more ventilated. I'm sorry, not the Crow 3s, Night 3s. I know they're more ventilated, but that kind of came at a trade-off. And so I want to understand longevity versus ventilation on the what's called the quarter, so the side panel. So if you guys are already in, I don't really give a shit about mileage and stuff like that. That was a thing that I used to care about, but it's as long as you're in and Mike's giving you the stamp of approval, just follow the instructions that he sent you and order it, and then just tell us, and then or just write me an email, and it'll just be refunded.
I
I
have
do
some food
need-
on the way, and I will happily give you all my thoughts on them.
I'm ordering a new set of nights next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
So it's
Aaron and Juice. They might not do a lot of riding in the winter, but I know twice a year they're going to ride down to Florida, and they're also going to ride down to Tennessee, and they're also going to ride down to CB. So those guys, look at Rowdy over there.
I don't know about
I've been-
saying not riding in winter, because I think I've done plenty of that.
You have
I
been
mean,
riding in the winter.
My first time wearing those, wearing these on my way to Florida, because I didn't oil them. I also didn't wear enough socks, and it was also 20 degrees for 16 hours.
But I cannot imagine though. So I've worn the double H's, and I've worn the double. What is it? The H and H, and then the double D's is the Harley brands. I've worn those, and it's how can people even wear these damn things? There's no protection. But these huge difference between any other brand, especially lace ups and the Indy Ridges, because they're solid. Two, I cannot talk about that little piece of leather between the tongue and the actual body of the shoe. I cannot talk about that piece enough. That actually makes up the entire shortcoming of every other boot I've ever worn. It's a small piece.
It's called-
a thin piece of leather.
yeah, it's called-
but
It's actually a vinyl. It's not leather because it needs to be pliable, and we need to stitch the waterproof membrane through. It's called a gusset. And
Sorry,
easy.
you guys are making me laugh.
About rain or being cold?
Hey, Dad.
He heard
These
double
guys are
D's.
talking about wearing boots in winter. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're a little old man, so you're cold all the time.
Oh, my feet are broken.
Well, that too.
Yankees right outside Laconia. So,
Moment.
Yep, that current.
you've worn yours hunting.
Chase's
though.
head's
You've worn yours
right-
out in the
right
woods.
place.
Though.
I haven't worn the Indy Ridges hunting, but yes, I do in fact have hunting boots. Speaking of the Indy Ridges, though, I did actually just wear them on my fucking trip to Missouri and back. What would be the proper interval for applying a little bit of mink oil to them? Because I want to make sure they last. Because now that they're broken in, I'm really, really, really liking them.
I put mink oil on mine.
Well,
and
good.
I start seeing them so as soon as you oil up, we get a very dark marbly color. Once they start looking a little whitish or a little when they start getting pale, I put more oil on them. I never let them get to the point where I can actually see threads in the seams of the boot where the actual ends of the leather are.
Okay. Because for me right now, it's like a bit differential. Like some spaces of the boots, still look brand new, but some, are showing a little bit of wear, whether they've been exposed to wind or the shifter toe or whatever.
Yeah.
Which
I'll
boots do you
actually
have?
put a very. Go ahead. Which boots you got, Yankee?
I have the Mohawk, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so the Mohawk is a good one because there's a few that we use what's called a pull-up leather, where it's kind of made to be scuffed up, but then re-waxed. And I use you guys can use a mink oil if you want, but I've tested fucking every kind of conditioner and oil there is on the market because I don't like that it darkens the color of the leather, especially like a mink oil. Well, I mean, they all will darken it a little bit, but the glycerin inside a lot of conditioners will make it darker over time. And if you got the Comanche doesn't look good all black. I actually have an all black version sitting right there, but you didn't buy that. So I use what's called Phoebing's Aussie Leather Conditioner. It's like a beeswax. You can get it on Amazon for like $15. It's a tub that you'll never see the bottom of. And it's great for the pull-up leather styles like Mohawk, Apache, Crow, Comanche, even all the ventilated stuff. Because you got to keep your leather hydrated, oiled. Otherwise, it starts to get brittle. A lot of people don't know that, which is not surprising. But
You're in.
So you have to wax your leather, and you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to just saturate it because then the fibers start to, kind of soften up. It would be like keeping your skin in water for a really long time. I mean, because it is a porous material. It's the hide. It's organic. I use Phoebing's Aussie Leather Conditioner. I can put that in some kind of chat somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to bring up Chris's.
That's what I would
question.
use.
We'll see.
I am so burnt today.
I'm sorry, was there?
There's
Well,
a question.
I actually,
Guy who makes Indy Ridge.
Right?
But no, Steve, there was a question in chat. If
Yeah.
someone doesn't want a shine on the crows, what could they use to protect them or hydrate them?
Where is the chat, first of all? How do I find it? Or is it just you who can see it?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. If you don't, so again, like the conditioners, like the mink oil, will absorb quicker, and it won't leave a shine. Like the Phoebing's beeswax will leave a shine temporarily, but it'll get absorbed in. You can't keep it shiny forever unless you use like a shoe shine. So it's good for like a cleanup if you've got them scuffed up from your shifter, stuff like that. Like it's good, and it might be shiny for a little bit. It'll go away. Do it, and they do it too often, but you don't really need to. Again, if you want. It's a black boot anyway. If you want to keep that charcoaly color, though, I actually do a couple of things. Like I'll use a little bit of wax, and then I'll use some like ultra high grit sandpaper, like 400, 600, and I'll take off some of the wax. And you can't do that a whole lot because every time you use sandpaper, you're removing some of the leather. But that's actually how we prep them, is because I like that charcoal look and that kind of matte finish. And the wax puts a shine to it, and then we scuff them up intentionally, but not like a super scuff, but just to make them look a little bit more like the photo.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that answers the question.
Or just wear them.
YouTube channel.
That helps me a lot. I've never actually owned a leather boot, at least not a leather motorcycle boot, and so I'm coming from like crappy Cortex or whatever. Well, not crappy Cortex, but I'm coming from PVC, and I'm excited about having a leather boot for real, and so I think it'd be here real soon. And yep.
So Rowdy, have you sent me an email yet to IRI at Indy Ridge?
No.
So here's what you do. Send me an email, iri@indyridgeusa.com.
Okay.
And say, hi, I'm Rowdy.
Grab
I
me a
ride
beer.
my motorcycle. Here's the motorcycles I ride. Here's where I ride. And this is the type of riding I do. And I would love to try your boots. You've actually got, I gave you, did you make it? You made it to the camp out. Did you not? Did I not give you a pair of boots at the camp out? I suck.
So it's not on you. I was busy, and I was busy doing stupid things like drinking too much and too much karaoke. I was busy having fun at the camp.
Those sound like fun.
And so, like, if I missed it, I missed it. And like, anyway, I had a lot of fun at the camp out. I plan on continuing to go to the camp outs and having more fun. And so I might miss out on opportunities like that. But for other people that don't want to miss out on opportunities like that, like, don't pay more attention than I do. I drink maybe on the stage, and that's all.
This last camp out is probably the least I saw of you in the last 3 camp outs. So you were busy. Yeah, you were
I took a lot of naps.
Listen, Rowdy, that mosh pit that you managed to generate at karaoke night was one of the highlights of my entire fucking year so far. So you have nothing
I'm
to
honored that you said that, because I have been listening to your rendition of Rose Tattoo since the camp out. Like, over and over on repeat.
I noticed that like people posted a lot of karaoke videos like on YouTube from that, but nobody seems to have that. So I can't prove to anybody back here that I actually did it.
Let me go back through my footage. I've got footage of everything. So let me
What happens at karaoke stays at karaoke.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially when they made everybody take their shirts off.
So I have a question.
Well, there was no
hang on. We have to tell Steve about this.
Oh, go ahead.
We have to tell Steve about this. So the wedding was last October. David and Cindy got married. And there was this drunk guy in cutoff jeans. Was he barefooted or in flip-flops? Or
He's in
clogs
flip-flops.
The flip-flops and barefoot.
Alright,
No
so I'm not gonna lie,
shirt.
he is probably my new best friend at the camp out. Like, I love this dude. I spent a lot of time just hanging out with this dude. He's a swell guy, and if you come to the
Florida
camp out
man.
and meet the guy,
Oh, he was a great guy.
just hang
Yeah.
out with Florida man. He's awesome.
This
Florida
dude-
man.
So
Great guy,
during the actual
ruiner of
wedding-
photos.
So yeah, ruiner of the photos. So this dude during the actual wedding was walking around in his flip flops with cut off shorts, no shirt, everywhere, like walking back and forth in front of the stage, back and forth in front of all the seats. And every wedding photo, this dude managed to be in, and every wedding video he managed to be in. So in March, Cindy, to re-represent this guy, she talked about him in the video that we made when we did the presentation video. But she wanted everybody, when they got on stage, to take off their shirts and be like Florida man. So that's why if you
So
see
she
our-
embraced it.
Oh yeah, she loved it. She actually had some of her wedding photos redone where she's staring out a window, and Florida man was standing out there with no shirt on. She redid the video. She redid her pictures and put them out on YouTube or on Instagram and Facebook. So, but when we got up on stage, she's like, everybody needs to take their shirts off. We're gonna do this in honor of Florida man. So if you see any of the karaoke videos, when we all got up there, we took our shirts off. It was a blast. Steve, you have to go to this camp out. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I will. Let me just unlock these. I think I put the keys around here somewhere. These chains.
Land at JAX, and we will ride down together.
Well, see, I was just thinking we all head out to the West Coast, meet up with him, and then book it back as a, convoy.
Oh, we could just crash at his warehouse overnight and then take off the next morning.
Does
With as much
meeting
as
up
we
with
carry?
him possibly involve kidnapping? Just theoretically.
I think we just show up. Well, apparently, if we just show up, I'm pretty sure we can just motivate him into going. So I don't think kidnapping will be involved. Did you guys have
Motivate
to
as
kidnap me?
in,
You
like,
love us
just
throwing a
saying.
hockey bag
Hey,
and throwing
it's
it in the
gonna
back of
take you time to open that.
Show up on motorcycle.
And
They're loaded. There's
Oh.
a round in the chamber.
No kidnapping for the camp out.
Hey, no, you can try. I wake up in the morning praying for a fight. Like I'm like, please. I leave my doors unlocked at night because I like to encourage intruders.
My daughter wants to do that. So I've taught my daughter how to use knives and how to do knife fights, and she wants somebody to break in the house. I bought her an M48 tactical battle hatchet, and she wants to use that on somebody. She absolutely, I swear to God, this girl will probably leave her window open one night and pray for somebody to crawl through it.
Apple don't fall far from the tree right there.
She's a clone. She's absolutely a clone. Yeah.
Don't be mad when we hear a weird noise out in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
The old Winchester Supermarine.
So
Yeah, that was kind of the question. Like that's still weird that that's your go-to home self-defense to me.
So I have a Smith & Wesson search and rescue knife under the blanket. Also have another survival knife under the mattress. I have the M48 tactical battle hatchet next to the bed. My daughter has, and in the living room, God forbid you try to come into my house while I'm standing in the living room, because I have 3 samurai swords, a reproduction of the Lord of the Rings King sword, and 2 marine trench fighting swords in the living room.
Are you gonna hold them all? Like how does it work? Between your fingers?
Serious.
You
Just
fight
teach him
with
to place
one
around
until
the
it sticks
house.
with you do John Wick shit. You fight with one until you get stuck in somebody's skull, then you fall back and grab another one. This is the way.
see,
No, this is
I
the
just-
play.
so since it's been so
I
hot
didn't
up
even
here,
get a
I've
chuckle
been.
out of Aaron, and it's an inside joke between us.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Oh, here it is.
This is the way.
Oh yes, this is the way. But so weirdly enough, since it's been so warm up here, I've been sleeping with my windows and stuff open.
Yep.
I got
Picture
woke
it
up about
happening.
2 nights ago at 2 a.m. on the dot, and I could hear a bunch of people underneath my window, and they're talking like, "Hey, how are we gonna get in?" Right next to my bed. So I'm like, "Shit, what's going on?" And I'm listening, and these people are like, "Oh no, we got to go around front. The door's in the front. We got to get in." I'm like, "What the? Is somebody trying to plan to break into my house right now?" So I get up, I go to my safe, I get my firearm out, and I'm in my fucking
Which-
underwear.
Which is your go-to? What like what's the actual?
So
What's the go-to?
I'm a better shot with a handgun than any of my other stuff, so I go for that. It's a Ruger SR9 with double stack mag, so I got a lot.
Okay.
So I grabbed that, loaded it up. Miniature Viking.
So this is my. Here's what I tell you. If someone breaks
Hold
into
on,
your
hold on.
house,
I want to hear the rest of the story about these people who are about to kill this.
Not
other
killed.
Griffin.
But I have all of my windows open. I hear these guys, they're still talking about, like, how are we going to get in? How are we going to get in? So I go through and I'm checking every room. I'm looking through all of my windows. And then I go out and I open my front door. And I see two people drunk off their ass stumbling through yards, going to, like, the other side of somebody else's house. I'm like, oh, these guys are walking home from a bar that's, like, 2 miles down the road. And they're just cutting through people's lawns.
I think that qualifies as a threat, and you have the right to stand your ground.
Right. Well, they were already like
So-
crossing the street, but I just walked out onto my front
Yeah.
porch
That's
in
what
my
Aaron's
underwear.
getting at. Yes. Pulling a Jimmy Mulvaney, if you will.
Sean.
Yeah,
It was
so
not an attractive sight.
hi pumpkin.
Well, he just wanted his fucking car. I took his fucking girl.
No, he took the car and left his pants in the guy's living room.
He said he fucking woke up next to somebody. He wasn't sure who it was.
That was somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Another.
No one saw anything.
Everybody say hi, pumpkin. Hi, pumpkin.
It's Pumpkin's birthday.
Happy,
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
pumpkin.
pumpkin.
Happy birthday, Emily.
That's my fault. She's trying to wash her hands. I should have the camera.
And now we have Cat.
That's for you.
So, Mike, your go-to is the
So
hatchet.
this is
It's a
this is my
tomahawk.
bed. So this is an M48 Tomahawk. Here's my belief: if someone breaks in, you break into somewhere. If you're a thief, you break into somewhere, and someone comes running down a hall with you with this in their hand, in their underwear, or maybe naked, you're gonna be scared.
I'll be naked.
So yeah, but this is mine, and my daughter demanded she get one, so I showed her how to wrap paracord, and then she has one, but it's in this very nice feminine red. Yeah, and she cannot wait to use it on a boyfriend, whatever, hostile intent. But this is the actual. So this is a World War II Marine trench fighting sword. If you can read the inscription on it, it says Ezekiel
God save us.
25:17. Ezekiel 25:17. The righteous man. Yeah, it's the Pulp Fiction quote.
I was gonna say that's the Samuel L. Jackson quote, right?
That's the Samuel L. Jackson quote. The righteous man, and I will slaughter thee who offends my brother.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who
Right.
in the name of charity and goodwill.
It's not even actually a Bible quote.
Oh no, it is. It is. It is an actual Bible quote.
Oh.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah, dude. When
Just
when
did that
hear
last
something
week.
Weird. Even when the dog starts acting weird, the dog won't go to sleep. I get up and do a tactical sweep.
Yep.
And that is.
I heard.
Oops.
I heard in what I believe to be retrospect was a snowshoe hare getting worked apart by a Fisher cat. At the time, all I knew was that it was ungodly freaking screaming coming from the backside of the swamp that's behind this house. And yeah, well, let's just say we weren't playing around that particular night.
Swamp.
Yeah. God
Yeah, again, I think that
breaks
qualifies as stand your ground. Like,
See, nothing.
you felt threatened and a noise.
See,
Done.
I live in town, so I don't go for the shotgun. Also, all I got for it currently is what is it, like pigeon rounds and stuff for trap shooting.
Perfect.
So I go for
Makes
the
it
9mm.
And-
Birdshot.
Or birdshot, yeah. But all I do is I grab the 9mm, and one time I couldn't find my flashlight, so I grabbed my lightsaber. So I'm in my underwear with a lightsaber in one hand and my handgun in the other, walking through my house looking for somebody that I thought broke in.
No, you lied. Really?
Yes, right after I
You
moved
trying
into
to
my house.
Obi-Wan Kenobi the intruder?
You need a
So
katana.
lightsaber.
He has the
was-
high ground now.
Fanatic, I have the high ground.
Exactly.
You got a lightsaber. What the hell do you need a 9mm for? Like, you got a lightsaber.
It's just a display. Um,
Still
Are you-
hurt, by the way.
Saving lights, man.
But oh man, I'm a squirrely person and I live alone, so noises usually wake me up, and I'm like, okay, what was that? If I hear another loud bang, all right, someone's
You need-
trying to get in.
Nara, you need more cats or more dogs.
You live out in the fucking part of Ohio where you could very well have an army of the children of the corn coming at you, so I don't blame you.
Where I grew up as a kid, that was a possibility. Right now, I'm in the suburbs, so
It's
a little
still
less
high.
likely.
Well, then
Yeah.
if you're worried about noises, you just need more meth heads because they do meth head things like outside of your house.
We
And
got
unless they have a
plenty.
reason to come nearby, you don't have to worry about them.
We've got plenty, but they're like 20 minutes on the other side of town.
Most secure places
They're
I
near the
live-
giant basket. That's where they hang out.
Jebediah, or whatever the hell his name was.
The most secure place I ever lived was in Chicago, and when I moved into the apartments, I moved in right before the 4th of July. So I came home from, it was actually a instructor in the Navy then, and I came home and there was a bunch of guys standing outside, and I was like, "Hey, you guys waiting for the fireworks?" And they're like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh shit!" I tell you what, man, I'll order some pizzas. And they're like, "Okay, we'll get some beers." We put down the tailgates. They pulled their truck over by mine. We got on the tailgates. We had pizza and beer. And we watched the fireworks. The manager of the apartment complex, after we were done, said, "Do you know who those guys were?" And I was like, "No, just some guys that live here, right?" And they're like, "They're in a gang. They're in like a Mexican gang." I'm like, "Well, they seem like really cool guys." And she's like, "Well, just watch yourself. Just watch yourself." But I didn't know it, but I had made a permanent friend with those guys. Literally, if anybody came to my apartment, they knocked
Cold
on
beer.
the door. Within 30 seconds, they were there. "Hey, Mike, is everything okay? Do you know this guy?" Like, "Yeah, I know him." Dude, I would, in the summer, leave my front door open, leave just, because it was hot, leave the screen wide open, never lock my trucks, because I had a security system in all those guys. And they literally, they stood watching that place. There's at least 2 of those guys outside every minute of the day, watching the parking lots around the apartments. I'm not kidding. That was the most secure place I ever lived, because I got in good with the Mexican cartel.
Chicago is a great place for that.
Best kind
Chicago's
of friend
great.
to have, man. Nobody's
Best kind
gonna
of friend to have, best kind of friend to have is a dangerous friend. And I will believe that forever.
I'm your Huckleberry.
See, that's why I have all of you.
Damn straight.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Preferably in multiple parts of the country. You know,
Goon just trying to
in
subtly.
almost every, in probably every state.
Friends everywhere.
And it's and they're all a phone call away. So that's the best kind.
Well, I have made some scary friends. I had a guy in Louisiana tell me, "If you need anything, you need a gun, you need an unmarked weapon, you call me, buddy. I'll be there for you." And I'm like,
I need
Okay.
that man's number sometimes.
"Thanks." But yeah, your military friends are the same. You call one of your military friends, they'll be there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A tank of gas and 2
Go
coffee stops
off.
away, they'll be
Yeah.
there.
These
The
things
cat
are
is
fine.
invaded.
Totally.
I think the Weirdos Assemble campout was a little bit further than a tank of gas and a couple coffee stops, but
Well, for me, it was only 2 tanks of gas away, so it was fine. Actually, it was 1 tank there and a refill and a refill when I got here to make sure I had gas the next morning.
Aaron had to fill it
Spaceship.
like 10 or
For
15
Yankee
times.
now.
It's a 3-gallon tank. Fucking do the math.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
How
got a
many?
7-gallon tank, so it's
How many stops on the way to my place did we make, Yankee? 3? 4.
Yeah, from Tennessee to Ohio. I feel like it was like at least 3 or 4.
North of Cincinnati, where I had to bump start it 3 times.
Yes, I remember that.
I'm pretty sure that a certain Whiskey Chaser gave a certain nothing at random.
All right, this is going to be the last time. This is going to be the last time I say it. That battery was underneath the middle of the seat.
Yeah.
The seat was bolted on. Throw-over bags were over the seat, and then my sissy bar bag was on top of it. To get to the battery, I had to completely remove everything.
I would
rather
He does have a point.
Yeah,
He really has a point there.
You should have gone and
It was
bought
a
a
good
lawnmower
fail-safe.
battery.
Or you just run down a dirt driveway in the middle of fucking Kentucky and make it happen, you know?
Hey, and I did it.
Exactly, we did it. Bro, you gotta remember, we're gonna fucking tell that story until the day we die. You know,
Listen.
like that's a bit of legend right there.
I'm gonna steal a saying from someone we all respect. God loves an idiot. A lot of the times, I'm that idiot.
I'm gonna add to that saying, you all need more solar panels.
The best trips or the best stories come from hardships. The
Absolutely.
worse the trip, the more hardships you have on the trip, the better the story is.
Yup.
But you should have recorded it. You should have.
All of my GoPro batteries were dead. Every last
Oh.
one of them.
So when's our next
I'm
meetup?
sorry. You ride back from the fucking Vermont all the way back to Boston just to fucking get back to the fucking, you know, to give you a ride from Manchester back to Boston? No, you didn't do that. I fucking did that. on a Honda Shadow 750, you ass. Sorry, just arguing with that.
So the next get together, I believe it's not so much open to the public, but is the Sentinel camp out for us.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Joyzy camp out.
Make it Joyzy.
Joyzy.
Yep.
I'm gonna
And
have to
then-
make some extended trips then before that.
One of here in, I don't have my planner with me. It's this month. It's, I believe, Saturday the 17th here in Ohio at Faro Harley Davidson North location. They're having their Hot Rods and Handlebars, which is their car and bike show. And one of our friends from out of state has mentioned potentially coming up for that.
Is that the same weekend as Father's Day weekend?
Yes.
Bike week.
I ain't gonna make it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, if it's Father's Day, I'm gonna be busy being a father.
Yup. I can't fit 3 minions on the back of a Harley.
You try.
Right.
Saddlebag.
Shout
No,
out to
Give me your
Dad.
you
saddlebag.
absolutely can.
It'd be a hell of a sight.
I selfishly
18th
will
is
be
Father's
making a northerly journey at an undisclosed date and time soon. If I could crash on anybody's front yard and maybe borrow your shower, I'd be grateful.
Which way are you coming? You're always welcome here. If you end up around Memphis,
Alright, if you're coming this far north, you fucking could always camp out here.
depends where you're going.
I'm headed to Chicago.
What?
Oh, yeah, you'll come right through here. So yes, you got to be here.
Okay, we'll share routes and I'll figure it out. It's soonish, but I'm not gonna say when. Cool.
I'm picking up Buck Brown. If none of y'all picked that up from the live stream, I'm picking up Buck Brown in the morning at 7 o'clock. He broke down right outside of Memphis.
Mhm.
So I am picking him up at the semi-terminal where he broke down. I think it's the Wentworth terminal. I'm picking him up and driving him to the airport at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, yep.
Good on you.
I'll have a little bit of content from that. So Buck Brown, if y'all that don't know, he's the one that bought Shay's old motorcycle and then donated what did he donate? I think he donated another $650 back to Forgotten Angels for a giveaway.
Oh, the Suzuki Savage.
He bought the Savage and he donated another motorcycle. I think one of the
Oh,
boys
what?
is driving it. Rebel. He donated his daughter's old Rebel, and he bought the 650 and donated the Rebel. So one of the boys is driving a Rebel right now. Not a Rebel like Aaron's, a 250 Rebel.
No,
scooter.
yeah.
A more moped.
Yeah, the old school Rebel.
Speaking of the 2021 Honda Rebel 500 with ABS, or as Goon likes to call it, the Little White Rebel, it is up for sale. So, anyone is curious about that,
When does Goon call
reach
it
out
the
to me.
Little White Rebel? I
No
call it
one
the
is
Little
bi
White
curious.
Moped.
Nobody wants that 650. I know what. The 500.
Hey, give it. I
Not
was about to
even
say,
650.
quit giving it more credit. It's 500 moped.
It's a good
actually
starter
not
bike.
even easy. It's not
It
even
is a
fun.
very nice bike.
I kind of want it, but if I buy it or even look in its general direction, I'll probably be singing falsetto for the next karaoke.
Funny thing about all these campouts, I always intend to drive other people's bikes, and then shortly after I get there,
We start
right
drinking.
after we, yes, and I have a hard, fast rule against. I will drive my own bike with one beer, maybe twos. I will not drive anyone else's bike on any beers.
So, what did you guys think of the area? That was what I was actually wanted to bring up tonight.
Yeah, what was it, like a 4-beer minimum to hop on the cheese?
The,
What did you ask about?
the
For-
only thing
for
I
the-
can say...
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Goon. Go ahead, Goon.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I had brought up the general question. What did you guys think about the area and the location for the camp?
Loved it. I wish we were on the lake. That's the only difference. Just so we didn't have neighbors to our back.
I think it was great, and I wish we all would all have been on the same side, and I would not have been on that fucking hill.
Hey,
Let's say
we were king of the mountain.
Dude, as many times I'm like the legend that could. I get to the top of that, especially at the bottom of that hill. And after I'd had how much whiskey and beers did we have?
so much.
Lost
I
count.
get to the bottom of that hill
Even
and go, okay, here
I
we
got
go.
drunk.
I think I can. And start fucking checking up that hill to try to get back to my tent.
You come in, will you grab me a beer?
Say I can only say one thing about it that I didn't like, and that's how close all the other campsites were to us. Because multiple times, the first time it was just Sydney, Juice, and I before Dave showed up, I could hear people quite a ways away.
Bitching. They were arguing. It was
Yeah,
stupid.
bitching and arguing, and and then
It was really bothering Aaron. I just kind of
I was
tuned it
getting
out.
triggered.
And
Yeah, I
was
was
just like
getting triggered.
just
That
drinking.
was
But
what
Aaron, I
I'm
could
talking
tell. I could tell
yeah.
that Aaron was getting so annoyed by the people. It was a married couple, and they were like setting up, but it took them.
Oh, and they were
fucking
yelling at their
ever.
kids for like no good reason. That was what was
So-
getting to me. Is they were just yelling
Were they
at
the
their
ones
kids.
were they the ones up in that RV? They kept
That
saying
had
with their
bright
kids?
blue lights. Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
yes. They were pains
Yeah.
in the ass.
They
I
were
was gonna
tr-
burn down their RV. If it wouldn't have been for the kids, I'd have burnt that RV to the ground.
yeah. Well, if the
God.
kids weren't there, they might not have been yelling.
Allegedly.
Oh no, they'd have been yelling
But,
anyway. So those people like
um,
that will yell no matter what it is.
Yeah. Nah,
They were the
I've
ones
been,
that turned in the. Even though the guys next to us were being a little loud with their Bluetooth speaker, they're the ones that turned in the guys next to us. And I'm like, okay, if we can't all be here and just be intolerable of each other quietly, go home.
yeah.
Especially after screaming the entire night before, and then yell about the guys the next camp over because their music is too loud. It
Yeah.
was ridiculous.
I mean, I get it. That's just like you want to go out and you want to do what you enjoy, and you want to bring your family and have them involved. But at the same time, my issue is just in general. I think we were, especially once it started to fill up that last night. There's just so many people around, and you had people wandering in and through sites to get to their site, or getting lost because they were too drunk and wandering into a site they didn't belong into.
She wasn't lost. She did that intentionally. That's another tent.
Yeah.
If I would have been there, I'd have burned her tent down too, because I would have chunked her out on her ass. And I'm not even gonna hide that.
We're not going into this.
So
We're not-
Diana told
yeah.
me what she said.
Yep.
If she had said that while I
Ixnay.
was there, I probably would have kicked her ass myself and
Yep.
carried her ass back to her tent, rolled her up in
So-
it, and caught it on fire.
We're gonna leave it there, but I think there's a reason why Sid and I took responsibility and escorted her back to her site twice.
Now, if only we could have kept our neighbors away.
Oh, the
Because
drunk
eventually-
DNA.
Eventually, Diesel had to get involved in that one because she would not leave me the fuck alone.
The CNA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite easy. That's a great fucking idea.
The ones from right beside
Yes.
my site, okay.
Real quick, hold up. Sorry. Are we burning tents down or not burning tents down?
Pyro.
Burn them.
Well, I'm burning them down.
Yeah, because
Cleanses everything.
Well,
Mike's, yeah, so like so far Mike's killed like 3 people on this like in this hypothetical situation.
well,
Like
No, I would have told her to leave. I absolutely would have. If I'd have known what she had said to Goon, I'd have told her, you need to leave. You're not welcome here. I would not have been nice about it. I would not have been cordial. I would have said, you need to leave. You're not welcome.
Hey, I was nice.
It would have
I
been
let
a
it
walk
go.
back to her tent.
I didn't give a
Yeah,
fuck. Okay, I gave plenty of fucks, but that was
He gave,
beside
a,
the
he
point.
gave a little bit of a fuck.
well, we
I
got
was cordial.
the person away from the site, and then we hung out at their site for a little bit until they started to get kind of
Traitor.
tuckered out, and then Sentinel and I made our escape.
I commend you all on your diplomacy.
Way
And
too
I'm
nice.
surprised she didn't try to get with Sid.
She did try to get with Sid.
She probably would have had I not tagged along, because safety in numbers, and you never leave a friend alone like that.
That's 100% fact.
Now, if Sid would have been like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here," I'd have taken a hint.
It was
Everybody in
not
the chat's
like
like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? are
Oh
you
yeah,
talking
there's
about?
so much context not being applied here that we are purposely leaving out.
Yes.
No.
So,
We're looking
anyway.
at the fish hooks too, and I'm very
Yeah.
upset that
yeah.
someone did not come in. So for Steve's probably not, Steve and Yankee probably the only ones that don't know. CNA girl who made friends with Goon, the second one that made friends with Goon, came over and said, "Do you have a first aid kit?" And I said, "Well, yes, I do, because I'm a combat lifesaver." I give it to her, and I was like, "I should probably follow you over there." When I get over there, this girl is all gloved up. She's telling us that she's an LPN.
Mm-hmm.
What did she tell us she was first? She absolutely lied about that. And when I get over
LPN.
there, she says she's an LPN. So I get over there, and I'm watching her. This dude has a treble hook. 2 of the treble hooks are buried in this dude's thumb. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "You shouldn't try to pull that out." She goes, "Oh, I've pulled these out before. We'll yank it right out. It comes right out." And I'm like, "And here watching. Okay." She goes, "I'm just gonna clean it up with alcohol. Be good." Okay. Gives it one yank, and the dude, number one, the dude is already so drunk he can't even keep his eyes open. Once she yanked the hook, his pupils just totally constricted, and he turned gray. He couldn't get the hook out, so then I'm like, "Let me take a look." So I go down and look, and one of them is buried down to the knuckle. It's actually in the knuckle, and the other is going through the quick and into just flesh. I said, "You're not going to get that hook out." And he's like, "Well, can you get it out?" And I said, "I can get it out. I'm going to have to cut it open. I'm going to have to slice your thumb open." I'm trying to make it sound as nasty as I can. I said, "I'm going to have to slice it open. I don't have any antibiotics. I don't have any anesthetic. You're going to feel it, and I'm going to leave your thumb gaping open." He goes, "Okay, go for it." You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Aaron,
Now I
this
remember
is
that
why
you
you
mentioned
don't fish.
Well, I was the one who ended up going over to find Rainey, because someone made the comment, "Hey, Rainey disappeared," and I could hear him over there, and I went
No
over
one
and
made the
saw-
comment Rainey had disappeared.
Diana
Diana
did.
was like, "Go get my husband."
Oh, okay. Well, I was
So-
inebriated, so
And we
I
were
walked
like,
over and I saw Rainey
"Yes,
being
ma'am."
all medical. Yeah. I saw Rainey being like medical training happening, and I walk over and I'm seeing all of this going on. I'm like, this dude's thumb's messed up and he should go to the hospital in my head. And then Rainey basically said, "I can cut you open. It's probably going to get infected,
am a
and then you're going to
hospital.
be in the hospital. So you should go
So,
to the
Rainey,
hospital."
You told me this story the morning that I showed up there. We were like cleaning ourselves up. Remember, like you're telling me the whole thing about like, yeah, you should go to the hospital. But I have 2 questions. A, when the girl tried to pull the hooks out, did she pull with or against the barbs?
He pulled against the barb. And here's what I was telling her. When she goes to yank on it, okay.
was weak.
So Yank is a fisherman. He understands this. If you're trying to pull a hook, you're going to grab it with pliers. You're not going to grab it with your own hand too. With another set of treble hooks on the other side of that lure, you're not going to grab it with your hand because you're going to get impaled too. Then there are 2 of you stuck
they'd
on the same hook.
turn
It's like a
themselves
bunch
into a hillbilly finger trap. That's what they would
Yes,
And
it
what-
is. Absolutely.
Buried
Oh.
in there past the point of the barb, there's only one way to go. And that's to keep fucking going with it and hope it comes out the other side. Because if you pull it against it, it's just gonna make it worse. But
That's what I was looking at, but there's no way. One of the hooks was actually.
I mean, you can go to the hospital anyway if it's fucking that bad. But you know,
one
yeah,
was all the way to the bone, and it was not going to go any further in. Yeah,
but it was already in.
So,
it was in. It was that was not coming back, and you weren't going to push it in any further in. Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to a hospital, yeah, then you should.
So that's the proper way of doing it.
Yeah, but then I have a follow-up question. You said it was a treble hook.
Yeah.
Where did said treble hook come from? Was it off of a lure, or were they just fucking like tying it on the end of the line, or where, or why?
A better story than that. They had thrown lawn chairs, tents, sleeping bags, and fishing gear into the back of a truck with the lures on it. So I always had a hard. I'm not sure how you guys do it, but whenever I'm running lures, I always put a brass barb on it with a swivel hook. That way I can quickly change out my lures.
No,
So
we just basically tie them on with a fucking clinch knot. Yep.
They just tied it on. They tied it on, threw it in the back of a truck, and when they tried to get the seats out, if they tried to get the chairs out, it was buried in one of the chairs. So this dude had crawled up past all the tents, sleeping bags, and chairs, trying to get this fishing rod out of the chair, and buried it into his own finger.
Fucking wonderful. You know
Yeah.
they make fishing rods now with hook keepers, usually like down below where the reel goes, and sort of fucking hook the thing in there. That's usually way better
That's
than
what I do.
pilot or some bullshit.
Well, they make, even if you're gonna leave the lure on, they make this thing that looks like a giant fucking clamshell that closes around it, and you can snap it and leave the lure on it and close it up on the rod. I mean,
Yeah, or you just fucking, be careful with it, but I guess we're past that. So
or cut it off, or just cut it off and tie it to the rod. But no,
Okay.
it's,
I mean, granted, but not on my new truck, but like if you looked at the roof of the upholstery on my old 4Runner, you would have seen a lot of gouges in the upholstery up there, and that's from fucking fishing hooks and lures and shit. But I mean,
weekend, yeah, I got to break the boo boo kit out 3 times that weekend, so it was a good weekend for the boo boo unit, for sure.
Yeah.
make sure you go to Rainey's store.
I mean,
the Boo Boo
I'm
Unit
not
page
sure to
and
find
pick up
anyone,
some merch
but
to support the Boo Boo Unit.
But this sounds like the type of story of like people who maybe don't fish a whole lot, but they're like, oh, we're going to the lake and yeah, but we're gonna go fishing, and they just got no fucking idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Goon, I know it's still in obviously very, very early stages of planning, but do we want to mention anything about Weirdos Assemble 2024?
I mean, it's going to be in Ohio, and you're planning it.
Yep.
So, something I was
yeah.
going to bring up doesn't have to be like an open to the public kind of deal, but the same place that we went to, that area, not that specific campground, you can buy a permit, and you can just ride your motorcycle up to somewhere, throw your tent up, and camp wherever the fuck you want.
Right, dispersed camping.
Yeah. But we'll try that next time.
That'd be fun.
Good.
We wouldn't have our well pumped
to
out.
bathe in.
I mean, we could just find a spot beside the river and purify the water, and bam.
Little rub-a-dub-dub.
Yeah, just like fucking kayak or canoe rental, so we don't have to
So-
drag.
So,
Hold on, I got a question because Steve's been quiet. Steve, do you like camping?
Obviously, I do like camping. I don't fish, so that's why I just got my mouth and listen to you guys talk about lures and whatever the fuck. But
so
I do like camping. I don't like camping near people. But I just I was up in Yosemite this summer. Last summer. Shit, it's already been a year. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I like camping, and I like not being around mobs of people who are also camping next to me.
Right.
So when you've gone
And-
camping, have you ever done moto camping? Because that's kind of like, I think we're all like trying to get into that niche of like people that are getting really good at packing only what you need on a bike.
I have
Part
not.
of my kit
no.
will
I
include
usually-
a cast iron set.
Well, the problem with not having saddlebags or a fairing or really anything but my pocket is that it makes things difficult now. I'm looking to rectify the situation. Although I promised myself no new bikes this year, but
We can always
it
get you a
might
set of
happen.
detachable bags for the Dyna.
I know.
Highly recommend green chili ADV kits. They're awesome.
I got the
Which ones?
32-inch CC bar on the sports shirt. That's what I plan on using for my next solo camp out. Whatever. If
I mean,
can't
I
get
do
into a
have-
CC bar bag.
We
it's
need to
not
be
gonna-
somewhere in the middle for that one. And probably invite Whiskey Chaser.
And for this, hey, well, if you really want to do a solo camp out, but it's also in a Drury, Labor Day weekend is the Jack Daniels meetup, where we all go to Franklin, Tennessee, and then we ride from Franklin down to Lynchburg, Tennessee, to the Jack Daniels distillery.
Holy man.
Yeah, I got some
Oh,
time off.
holy man.
I got budgeted for that, so yeah, I'm all in on that plan.
Which also happens to be my birthday weekend. Bring presents.
I'm a gift in myself, brother.
Well, like I
Show up
mentioned,
and
Rainey,
that's enough.
I'm kind of
Show up,
limited on
that's enough.
PTO. It might be a turn and burn. I'll come down like
I'm
Saturday
saying-
morning, leave Saturday night kind of thing.
I'm coming to see you in July, so
Yeah, you want to
That'd
do
be
me a
bad
favor?
idea.
yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah,
in
I'll
yeah,
stop.
July we're
swing
going to
by,
Jersey.
I'll pick you up. Oh, damn it. I won't be here for that.
They don't want to hear from me. They don't know.
How's it going?
Hey, it's Papa Yankee.
What's up,
How's it
Dad?
going?
Yeah.
It's
He's
funny,
had
I
a few.
probably-
It's been a long day. How are we doing, guys?
We're
Tell us about all the
good.
bad things that Yankee did when he was a kid.
Oh,
Looking
yeah,
for
spill
more
all the dirt.
frizzleism and shit, don't marry a woman like that.
Old and dead.
Oh yeah, spill some of the dirt on your son. Tell us some embarrassing stories about him growing up.
I got plenty more about myself than him.
At least he's honest.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah, I'm honest. Honest to a fault, I guess.
Where are you from and what do you ride?
Indian Chieftain, vintage. I'm from Boston, just outside of Boston. Pot's been up here in New Hampshire all my life, though. We hunt, we fish. I drink too much, but I'm okay with that. I'm old.
No such
Hi,
thing.
Eric.
I'm with you.
Actually,
Yeah,
I think I'm going to
Robert,
break out the
enjoy
bottle
that.
at 1800. Seems like a good night for it.
Oh, we
Good
drinking
return.
tequila?
Maybe.
Hold up. We got a-
No, we're a
just
sober
got a
nar
bottle.
tonight.
I know so Nar likes Johnny Walker Black. I discovered Johnny Walker High Rye.
Still there.
Oh,
And it
no.
is very good.
If we're
Well,
talking
Kelly-
about what Nar likes rum.
Can we still kill your brother?
Dude, I do still have that bottle of Johnny Walker Black, but I typically go for rum.
You still have that bottle?
Sorry,
I'm
somebody
waiting
brought.
for you to come up and finish it with me.
You know
How many months have you had that bottle?
Oh no! Oh no!
I got it
Brett,
right after
wasn't
I
like
got
a-
home from March camp out, so 3 months, no, 2.5 months.
Good job,
Oh,
Logan.
okay.
I'm proud of you.
I thought that
Right,
was
I
from
gotta
New
come
Year's.
visit you and finish that off.
More than welcome to.
That's probably is a good thing.
So I'm planning in the middle of July, coming up to Ohio, coming up to Columbus.
Right,
So, and I've already talked to Nicole. I'm going to get a bike from her while I'm there.
That's what the sheriff's department in New Hampshire hands out when you
Now.
go to fest.
Is it?
Yes. Shot glasses from the cops of New Hampshire. God bless America.
Got it.
I gotta send you $5 so you can give her my toll money.
Nah, I told her I'd pay for it, and she said it's $4. Don't worry about it. Like, you sure? She's like, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
that's
okay.
right. She got it.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
it was $20 just to set up the. Well, if she paid it online, that's one thing. But I went ahead and set up the freaking sun lamp, sun coast, whatever that damn thing
the
is.
Sun Pass.
Yeah,
Sun
Sun
pass,
Pass.
yeah.
Yeah,
I paid-
yeah,
it was-
Rowdy, I got your tolls.
Half the embarrassing.
Yeah, you got my tolls too? I'm
I
sorry,
took care of
man.
them.
Yeah,
Well, they come
I
to my
owe
fucking
you,
place.
I owe Jerry, I owe Nicole, I owe
You
all.
don't owe
I
me
just put up
shit.
my freeload now.
You don't owe me shit.
It's
Rainy.
cheaper to set up the Sun Pass and just pay like $10 into it. It was to pay it online, because to pay it online was like $5, but then they charge like a $10 processing fee. So I just set up an account, $20 into it, and I haven't dipped back into it yet. So they basically just pulled out of it the last 2 times I went down. He just pulled the money out of it, and I still haven't gone for that $20 yet.
Oh, all I heard was pulling out.
Like all the
What's
other.
the context here?
So it reciprocates across like all the other toll things too. Just in case y'all are wondering, you can use it everywhere.
Of course, in Georgia too. Like one of the fees was in Georgia. It was outside Atlanta.
I mean,
on a toll I didn't know I was on.
Thank you, Chris.
It's just swimming with bow-legged women.
it's just swimming with bow-legged women.
Hey,
Launch
Nar, so what bike are you getting? Are you gonna borrow?
One that he can give me the VIN number for.
Are you gonna borrow
Well-
Jess's bike until you get a new one? Is she gonna let? I know she's going to let you. Are you going to?
Potentially, but my question, Mike, I wanted to circle back to what you said. You said you already worked out a plan with Nicole. You're coming up here and getting a bike?
I am going to. I told her I was gonna come up there and test ride bikes, and she's taking me out on one. And then she said.
And
"That
then
would
you
be
ride a new
cool,"
one home.
And then sent me a heart. I am not going to probably ride one home.
Probably. You said probably.
Howard.
You see that shit?
Could be loose.
Well, unless I really like that V100 with the anchors on it because it's Navy themed.
Well, that one they would probably have to order you because they have, I think, 2 currently at the dealership. One is the
Rowdy.
demo, and I think the other is like all red.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride one of the Scrams, and I'm gonna ride one of the V7s. Maybe a V85.
Ride
Just
that
to test
V100. Ride that V100.
Or ride that V100. It's not going. It's not coming back. I already know that. So
I felt the same way halfway through the test ride on it. I wish I would have taken my camera with me that day, but
I'm taking my camera.
oh,
Absolutely.
that bike. If it wasn't, I don't know. I'm still considering it. I'm worried about not having like roadside assistance easily accessible, like with a Harley. That V100, it's got my attention.
But that bike won't break down like a Harley. Here's the thing.
Harleys
If you're
never
mechanically
break down.
inclined-
What are you talking about?
If you're mechanically inclined, you don't have to worry about a bike breaking down because you can fix it on the side of the road. Goon, right?
I mean, if the second time it happened and Juice just didn't keep trucking on by, don't worry, I got it on video.
Oh, you know what? Apparently, Nara's Honda has broken down more times than any of our bikes now.
Whoa.
Oh, fair.
The
fair.
dead
fair
battery
statement.
counts as one issue, not
No.
multiple issues.
How many times did it break down because of that?
It didn't break down, it just wouldn't start.
That's a
Didn't break
breakdown.
Same.
No,
Alright.
it's just one continuous issue.
And to be fair, if you'd have gone to Walmart, we could have done it that weekend. Went to Walmart, threw a lawnmower battery in it, and it would have been good to get you home.
Probably.
Broken down again.
Probably.
I've done it.
But-
I've thrown a freaking small cranking amp battery in a motorcycle. I rode it for like a month before I could get another battery in. And it
Eddie,
was fun.
Eddie's right. Harleys don't break down. They just take a break.
They just take a break.
Well, all I'll say is yes, I could have done that, but I was also kind of wanting to try to get the content of, hey, I had to bump start this and ride it 500 miles home
Then you didn't
without
record.
knowing all of my batteries were dead.
Why did you charge them?
I did. I went through all of them still.
They're fucking held together with Chinese lead solder.
I just got so much recording of just riding through those roads that I ate through all of my batteries.
We hit absolutely, and I mean this to a T, 0 of the roads that I wanted to take you guys on.
Well, now we have a reason to go back.
Oh, all my best footage was taken in parking lots, on picnic tables.
Oh, Juice, now that you're back, thanks for keeping going when my clutch went out the second time after the camp out.
Hey man, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was lost. So I knew that the highway was out that way, but that wasn't even the highway that I needed. So I blew past you. I'm like, bye, goon.
I know. I had my video rolling. I'm like,
Thanks
oh,
for
there
coming.
goes Juice, and he's all you see is.
So no, I want to ask you about this because I don't think you talked about it on your video, but I know I didn't talk about it on my video. When we were going to leave the campground, you didn't take the exit out, or was there another exit? Because like you and Diesel went around the campground, and I'm like, but wait, like this is
No,
you turned here, this is
lost.
the-
we stopped
Yeah, lost
and dropped
movement.
off all the trash.
Oh, okay. I thought you just got like we're zoned in because we went pretty hard the night before, and I'm like, this
Yeah,
motherfucker
exactly.
didn't realize he just passed the gate. And I'm like,
No.
okay, bye.
No, we went and dropped all the trash off at the receptacles by the little general store.
Yeah, and then so I went and got gas. I still didn't have service on my phone, so I didn't have GPS or anything, and I kind of knew the area enough because we had been around there. I'm like, yeah, I kind of know like what direction I might need to head. Nope, I was completely wrong. I think when I left the campground, I needed to go. That would have been west, but I kept going east because I was back towards or
Back towards
maybe I got it
base.
flipped. I might have even had it flipped the other way because the way to go north. I ended up on a really great road. It was I think County Highway 120 or something like that. Perfect, amazing like riding. I'm like, I really want to get home, but I am also enjoying the shit out of just hitting more curves because you all don't have straight highway. It doesn't exist. Like
And there's
that was
no
my
bad
favorite
ride.
part.
Oh, if you think
No bad roads there.
those roads are nice, wait till I take you back to Virginia. And we'll ride up around where I'm from, down to the tail of the dragon, and back up, because I'm only like 2 hours
I mean,
from the dragon.
I get why nobody's going anywhere in a hurry. Like up by me, like
That-
people are
I'll
like when
come
you're on the
out for
highway,
it,
you just
for sure.
haul ass. But not you can't do that. Like you got real curves. Like you have to slow down for shit down there. I kind of dig it.
Say again,
What'd you say,
Steve?
Steve?
That'll come out for him. Like you know,
We have
It's-
to fucking
it's
down
tough to.
from dad's that one time. Fucking over the.
Hey, get drunk again.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's tough to make it out to certain things, but that is one thing that I do want to do. If you guys want to organize some kind of trip down to the Tail of Dragon, that's one thing that I want to check out.
But we're
I'm
in.
100% sold.
Just say when. Yep.
Diesel
I
will
think
meet
I
us there
have to
too,
do-
because he lives in Knoxville.
I think I'm gonna have to do the triple nickel before I ever do Tail of the Dragon, just because it would be wrong to not hit the one famous motorcycle route in Ohio.
I mean,
Porque no toast.
when we were at the campground, we were 5 minutes away from the baby dragon.
What?
Back in Vermont. It's all-
Yeah, the namesake of
It
the
was like another
brewery.
26 miles of twisties.
Doing 10 miles an hour, see another one in the back, and I'm still straightening my pipes.
I remember stopping on it, and Mom and I wanted to kill you.
I like the scenic bypasses, not so much because I can zip through them fast, because I want to see them. Especially on like
Just
when we went to Arkansas, when we did Eureka Springs.
Yankee mute.
Yankee, you,
What?
you. So when we did Eureka Springs, if you go through those roads faster than 15, 20 miles an hour, you're not going to see anything because if you're looking at the road the entire time, or you go off the side of the cliff.
Yeah, and following, fucking Tori through those roads, that was let's just say a life-defining experience.
Oh yeah, when y'all went to Rogers, those roads were a little bit faster, and yeah, we told Christopher, so LCT clocks, he told us afterwards, and I'm like, dude, you have to slow down. Do not try to go as fast as the guy in front of you, because you'll get yourself killed.
Yeah. No, you'll hopefully on those roads, you'll fucking die.
Yeah, and if they look back and see that you're falling back, they'll slow down, or they'll stop at the next, straightaway and wait for you. If they want to ride those curves fast, they'll slow down when the curves are done, and on the next straightaway they'll wait for you, and then they'll take off again. They're not going to leave you more than probably a mile in the pass.
Mm-hmm.
But someone is always going to stay with you, though. Your tail gunner will always hang with you and make sure you get through those curves.
Absolutely.
And that's why they're there.
Yep. Or do what we did on the way back from TMMR, which is put the slowest bike up front, and then pretend like we had lassos and throw
It's
out
really so
and
much
just
fun.
throttle down a little bit and really man.
That's why
Aaron-
you're responsible for the man of
Aaron thought we were going slow. He thought that we were just dragging ass.
So
We're like,
yeah.
No, we were giving the
we were just
moped a
having
chance
faith,
to go the
bud.
fuck
At
away.
At one point, we went through a few switchback curves, and I'm watching my mirrors, and I don't see them, and I start to slow down. I'm like, fuck, did one of them have an accident? And I see them both whip around a corner. I'm like, oh no, they're fine.
Oh yeah,
I
I
thought
was
about it,
I was
like-
having a blast.
I thought about it for a second, like, these fuckers are intentionally letting me get ahead. It's like, okay.
And that's why I like smaller groups is better than bigger groups. It's easier to control the flow of them.
Down into a fucking river ravine. More, actually. Like 100, 200 feet down into a fucking river.
Thank you.
So, when y'all are in group rides, where do you like to be position-wise?
After leading, I kind of like leading.
Depends which bike I'm on and how many people are on the bike with me. If I'm by myself, I don't mind being in the front. If I've got the luggage and I've got it. So the thing about the BMW is if I've got it in two-person mode, you change the suspension and that jacks that bike up about 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So with it 4 inches higher and with another almost 200 pounds on it, it's harder to control. So in that case, I'd want to be in the back. If I'm by myself, that thing is a rocket, and I can be in the front, and it doesn't really matter. But it just depends. Two up riding with the bike, when you put it in 2-up mode, is harder to control, especially on those curves like that, because the bike already weighs 900 pounds. On the Sportster, I could be anywhere. That thing is just fucking crazy. It's like riding a BMX with a motor on it. It's just like you can't go too fast for that bike.
Yeah, that's why, like, when I met up with you guys at Rick's, and we took the back way into the campground, I was judging off of juice as to when I needed to let off the juice.
Yeah, I was being very intentional about like not leaving the group behind because you were having a blast, and I'm like,
Oh, I was having so
okay,
much fun.
I was like, I had to fight the devil and the angel on my shoulders, and I'm like, do I chase him? I should chase him.
You should
I
chase
should
him.
wait for the group. I should wait for the group and keep the group together. So I slowed down. But yeah, I actually wanted to pose the question. Now that we've ridden together, and I know Steve and Yankee, we didn't get to do that, but where do you think I like to be in the group now that you've ridden with me?
You like to be the fast. I've seen you block, so I'm gonna say if you like to be in the front.
Juice likes to be
Which
toward
is-
the front.
which is fine. Yeah. Here's the thing: next time, chasing, because we know where we're going. We've all got GPS. We can all get there. Let the slower guys run in the back. If you guys, the faster guys, want to get up front, run through the curves. And when you get to the straightaways where it's more hilly and stuff, slow down, wait for us, and then you can take off again. You can always yo-yo you back in. So take off. Don't feel bad about us. Don't think you're leaving us because we know that you guys want to run. That's why we let you guys get in the front. Run it. Go, and we will catch you later. We're all going to the same place. We'll all eventually get there.
We also didn't get to show Aaron the buffalo and Land Between the Legs.
I gotta see a dead hog. The one that Sid pointed out that got like smashed by a truck into the guardrail.
West
That
Texas, you'll see
thing
one every mile.
was big. But Steve, group rides, where do you like to be at? Front, back, middle?
If it's something I'm unfamiliar with, and kind of the same thing with Mike's question, it's like, who am I with? What do I know about them? How do they ride? Am I familiar with the roads? What bike am I on? I actually have my Sportster, the 4200, except mine is way prettier. No, you gotta see
I'm gonna
mine.
pay it this weekend. Well, show us. No, I saw the one that you were riding for be the boss of your bike. Didn't get a very good look at it, but that was not your Sportster. That was your. It's not a lowrider. What do you got?
Yeah,
The soft
Street
tail.
Bump.
Street bump.
Yeah, mine is it's well, I found the old I found the original Oak and Leaf Harley logo that Jane Davidson drew, and it was kind of I essentially recreated it in Adobe Illustrator, and I vectored it, and then I basically matted it out with denim. and it looks really cool. Now I don't have the bigger tank. I wish I'd swapped out tanks prior to doing that. But yeah, just kind of the stock. I think I'm gonna do some more upgrades, but the Sporty's great for like mountain roads, especially like so in LA, I live at the base of like the tallest mountain in LA County, like 10,000 feet. You know, it's not a massive mountain, but well, I guess for you guys it is kind of a big mountain.
Yeah.
And there are switchbacks, height switchbacks that have like 20 or 30 feet of incline on like real tight turns if you want to go up to the top of the mountain, or at least to the top of the bottom of the mountain, where you take your skis up and you go up and you ski.
To go to Cali.
But for the and there's some good roads in the back mountain areas and over in Thousand Oaks. For the most part, though, to get there, it's shitty. There's a lot of freeways, and everybody drives like assholes. So I don't get the opportunity to do a lot of group rides, to be honest. I mean, I don't get the opportunity to do a lot of things, to be honest. Let alone group rides in other states. But when I am riding with someone, it kind of depends on, you know, where I'm at, what I'm on. I kind of like to just, you know, I'll go at my speed and I'll go at my pace. If it's something that I'm not familiar with, like I don't really give a shit how fast you go. So probably the back, like, you know, if I'm going someplace that this guy's done a million times, then all right, great, knock yourself out. But you know, I like to, if it's something I'm unfamiliar with, I don't have that urge to race around blind corners and stuff like that. So probably the back. I definitely don't like to lead. If I'm in a place unfamiliar with, and with people who
Dude, ride my fucking scout sometime.
But yeah, it kind of depends on skill level of who I'm riding with and what I know they're riding and what their product's capable of. So,
Right.
you know, if I'm with a friend who's on like a 250, I'm not going to go that fast, but I'll lead. If I'm, you know, someone who's on something a lot more, not a Harley, a lot more powerful, a lot more maneuverable, you know, I'll stay in the back and I'll enjoy the scenery, and I will try not to die.
Advice.
That's fair.
I mean,
So-
I mean that's, yeah, that's, I don't know if that's the best answer, but it's the truth.
It's your answer, and that's all that
Yeah.
matters.
That's where you're comfortable at. So
Yeah. I know Juice, we kind
Yeah.
of touched on it. Oh, sorry. But were we accurate with you, Juice, saying that you like to be near the front?
Yeah, I think generally speaking, especially with you guys, yes. But I was gonna add that like I can be anywhere in a pack. I like to be at the front, but I also don't mind the idea of being at the back. I have a really good pack sense, and I think Sid like called that out. Like when I was able to lead, I'm a pretty thoughtful person in a group, so I know I do like to go fast. But the Road King is not really like a canyon carver, as it were. So I know my limits, and I know how to have fun on my bike. But I can be anywhere in the pack. But when you got somebody like Goon that he's on a objectively faster bike, and I'm like, okay, I could try it. I could try it. I really can't keep up with a lowrider S. I learned that over the weekend, but it was still just a fucking blast to go and do the damn thing. So yes, I do like to be at the front, but also if you need a tail gunner, sign me up.
There were a couple of those
Or
curves
blocker.
on the way back that I was starting to catch the edge of my pegs to scrape, like my mini floor. I was like, "Ooh, ooh."
You want to know?
Keep going.
I can't believe that Sid's not on right now, but you know, Sid can fucking carve, dog. Like,
I believe
you wanna
it.
go- somebody that can fucking ride. Way more street experience than me. I am not a well-versed street rider. I came from a dirt background. That was mostly where I came from. But Sid's been riding road for a long time, and I followed her. We went to like a gas station visit, just her and I. I think it was the Saturday. We went to go get supplies for dinner, and she can fucking rip. I'm like, she was tucking herself in the middle of the pack. She's hiding all of her talent. So I hope, Sid, that you're watching this later, and like, I will brag the shit out of you, because she can fucking ride way better than me.
Once
I was chasing her and David on the way when we went out for lunch when you guys were at TMMR. Me, her, and Dave went to lunch, and they were ripping through those, and there were some wet corners that my bike has never slid. I was starting to lose traction. And she was still ripping. And when we got there, she was like, "We didn't go too fast for you, did you?" And I said, "Well, I just about lost in some of those corners." She goes, "Oh yeah, I slid in a couple of those corners." And I'm like,
Yeah, we had
how far she rode though to get there, but she's got a lot of experience. I mean, look at 3-day trips down to Tampa. You know, she puts down some miles, so she knows that bike and knows what it will and won't do. So
And I've talked with Sid kind of extensively since this past March camp out. Just wanted to pick her brain about riding. And even before she rode the lowrider like she does, she had that FZ and she rode that thing. She was telling me stories about how like she'll eat up corners in single rides going speeds that are probably only okay in Mexico. And you know, she's told me some stories about it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I power wheelie the thing like every time I get on it." Like I can see that now. And
she's badass.
I want to have Sid lead a ride just so I can see how much riding skill she has and see it firsthand.
Definitely call it second and shoot.
Just, you know what? Might as well.
On the back of her bike, let her take you for a ride.
Well, this
let her peg you. It's fine.
No, it was Maria who wanted to peg me.
I believe that.
Yeah, 100%.
She legit said that this past camp out. She's like, "Can I peg you?" I'm like, "No, that's not my thing." And it's just the way she said it like really caught me off guard. But I might have to ride on the back of somebody's bike at a Sentinel camp out if I don't have a bike. So
yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that.
Content.
Huh?
Aaron, we might have to take that offline, because I don't know that I'm gonna even want to ride all that way. So we may have to carpool and just fucking cage it up.
Maybe. I know that Brandon also wants to come out to that. He's like, "I gotta ride out to it." I'm like, "You aren't gonna have luggage. You're not gonna be ready for that kind of trip on the bike."
And also,
it
will be July.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a bitch when it comes to heat. I do not tolerate heat, and I know I just did 7 hours, and that was fucking brutal, and the weather was great.
After you know, the frostbite trip, as I'm calling it, I don't think I have the right to bitch about the heat.
Oh,
Which Brandon is it?
Brandon, the one who has the Bolt.
Oh, okay.
My local friend who just started riding.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's gotten more ride time in, excluding the trip to Tennessee. He's gotten more ride time in locally than I have.
He's still married?
Currently, yes. They're actually in Maine right now on a vacation.
Good for them.
On the bike?
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
Shit, I don't think it doesn't even have a passenger seat, does it? Yeah, no.
It doesn't even have a hole in that rear fender for anything.
For
Gee, if
Steve,
only you
this
guys
guy.
knew had a fucking massive property out in Maine.
I do. And I was like,
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, "Ah, shit! I should have got you two linked up."
So for Steve, Brandon is the guy that Aaron was trying to get divorced over a motorcycle. Because he talked him into getting a motorcycle, and his wife basically, she went through all the steps of denial. First one, what was the first one? Well, after you get everything paid off, well, after you clean the garage, well, you can only get a bike that's 500 cc's or less, and they went straight for the Yamaha Bolt. And then She would
Well-
she would not let him bring it home. Was that it?
No, so it wasn't that he couldn't get a bike of a specific size. He was limiting himself to 650 or smaller. But then he's like, I don't want to outgrow it. I want to be able to get on the interstate. I'm like, you're not going to do that
The
happily
Bolt,
on a
the
650.
Bolt was a good choice.
The Bolt ended up being a very good choice.
Yeah.
Can I just say
Yeah.
the
Bike
whole
for that, though.
thing doesn't make any fucking sense? Like, 650 cc's. Well, 650 cc, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, a Yamaha.
Fucking
Cruiser.
KLR.
Cruiser,
Talking
not...
KLR.
No,
Sport bike.
he was talking about cruisers. He wasn't looking
Alright.
for a sport bike.
Fair enough.
Ideally, his perfect world would have been like a cafe racer style bike. Until I told him, like, look, like they look great, but if you want to ride for longer than an hour, it might not be the best choice.
'Cause you won't
Yeah,
have any
that's
testes
how that
left.
fucking goes.
I think from now on, when somebody asks me about what bike they should get as a first bike, I'm not even going to answer in cc's. I'm going to answer in megawatts. just like I mean, that's how the British do it. They limit their not by horsepower. They limit their licenses by watts. How many kilowatts get it put out? How many joules?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
it's-
lost the whole damn
Long
continent.
term, that makes a lot more sense.
But so
Yeah,
the wife
exactly.
Maybe
didn't
Harley,
want him to
'cause
get
it
a
won't put out
bike.
enough power to hurt you.
Yeah, so now they're a fucking joke. So,
But yeah, the wife didn't want him to get a bike because she had a family member who was hurt riding, but still rides. He does like solely off-road now and wrecks pretty regularly, from
Well,
what I've
that's
been
even
told.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, you're not allowed to get a bike ever. And apparently this is a talk that they've had multiple times over like the last 5-6 years. It's not just a new thing, but it kind of died out until I showed up at their place on my bike one day for meat and magic night. And then that started
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic and
Aaron's a
Gathering and
nerd.
Mead.
We're all
Yeah, I'm
nerds.
I have a Kingdom Hearts poster right there.
Tracking.
I have a Kitsune mask. I'm very clearly a nerd.
I was going to say
But-
weeboo, but okay.
Yeah, so it was, you're not allowed to get a bike, and then it went to, he went and signed up for the MSF course, and then didn't tell her until like a couple of days before, when I took him a bunch of gear to borrow, and then I was jokingly told I'm banned from the house.
Joke
went to
It wasn't a
out by
joke.
her. It wasn't a joke. She was not joking.
I,
Aaron, you're
Yeah.
not
I've
turning
been
the
back at their
hot
house a
water
few
dialogue.
times.
Up, but you serious?
I've been back to the house a couple of times and not, been kicked out.
Aaron calls
But-
that every night, especially the weirdo campout nights. Eddie.
Oh god. There's a reason why Sydney was on my campsite and the rest of you were not.
Because you let her peg you?
In. Yeah, I was waiting.
I didn't think that one through. I didn't think that one through.
Okay.
But, yeah.
On that,
She's still not happy about him having a bike and tries to give him reasons not to go out and ride. And I just told him, like, look, just every day for lunch, go out and ride. Before she comes home from work, go out on a ride and wait for her to get home before you come home. So she just gets used to you not being home because you're on the bike.
You are a home wrecker. That's a horrible idea. That is a horrible idea.
Apparently, Aaron's just out there fucking shit up for everybody.
I like it. Ride to work. Great. Do it.
Oh, he works from home. He is a 100% remote job.
Me too.
Work
I'm
at
not.
home, but don't be home when she gets home, just to show her. Fuck that bitch. Yeah. That's horrible.
You only married her.
that.
She's only your wife. What does she mean to you? Yeah.
I mean, on multiple times, he's like, hey, are we doing anything today? No? Okay, I'm gonna go ride with Aaron. And I'm like, I wasn't asked about this yet. Like, you're just volunteering my time to get your wife angry at me, okay?
this is your fault to begin with.
You.
Well,
She's
yeah,
using
hey,
you as
you
a
fucking
reason to get divorced.
started this whole process. You can't bitch now.
Well, I guess we'll see. Maybe here in a year I'll have a roommate.
God, hang on, do you have him putting his hair in a top knot yet?
He pulls it back into a ponytail. I don't think I've seen him do a top knot or a man bun like I do yet.
Oh, holy shit. It's there.
It's
He
happening.
already looks like a version of you on in anorexic. So.
Listen, I'm not joking. Just
Is he
some
not?
virtual
Alright,
freak
on that note,
He's older than me, so you might not want to say that.
Anywho.
Anorexic car.
You had something to say, Juice?
I was just gonna say, anywho's, and we're gonna move on because you're not wrong. He's a smaller stature person. We're gonna leave it at that. Kumquat.
Kumquat, there we go. Ending the episode with a kumquat.
We'll pick up on him just like we did the mysterious Mike. What's his new name now?
The fictitious man?
Oh, the fictional man.
Fictional man.
Fictional. What's
Yep,
the difference?
We'll pick on him, and then we'll love him when he gets to the camp out, just like we will Brandon. So once Brandon shows up,
He wants to go. He wants to go, and he wants to ride down to October,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Dude,
buddy.
join our fucking
have him
cult,
make some-
isn't it?
Yeah, have him make some smaller rides first. Get used to it. Ride out to us when I come in July.
I told him
September,
that.
have him ride down to Nashville and
Yeah.
take those small steps.
You're riding in Nashville?
I told him that we'll do some
Okay.
some day trips and weekend trips in Ohio. If he gets comfortable with that, we might do like a PA trip somewhere. You
And
know,
I'm still
You can go
planning. I'm
visit
still
the
planning the
Amish.
meadery trip. For the meadery trip, I think we'll probably just throw something up one weekend. So we'll do the camp out. It's right south of here in Grenada, Mississippi, and the camp, and then the meadery is in Tupelo, Mississippi. It's about an hour and a half drive. So
I heard mead. I'm in.
All right,
they
well,
have it is the only meadery in Mississippi.
I might have to, depending on when that happens, I might have to book it down in the car and borrow the Sporty.
I'll let you bring it.
Good to know.
I'm gonna paint the tank this weekend and get it on hopefully before Monday, where I can take it to work Monday with a new tank, with a new paint job on it. Speaking of
Do you have
sporties,
any for how you gonna paint the tank?
broke up. Come back.
Do you know how you're gonna paint the tank yet?
Yes, I'm painting it with Krylon. I'm going to
Rattle
can. So
Dude, really good.
Walmart
Rattle
rattle
can.
can special.
no. This is Lowe's rattle can. So if you don't know, so I used to buy bikes on Craigslist and eBay, and would paint them, and clean the carbs, and sell them back. Not intentionally. It wasn't an intentional thing. I'd buy the bike, paint it, and then go, yeah, I need a different bike, and I'd sell it and buy another bike. Yeah, I do beautiful rail can paint jobs, and the key to a good rail can paint job is getting the sprayer for it. Getting that little hand sprayer that clips on the top of the can.
Oh, you're serious? I thought you were kidding.
I'm absolutely serious.
Dead serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've got the Krylon Nitro, which is a primer and a paint, and then once I get it painted, I can put a clear coat on it, and they look beautiful. They are beautiful when you do a good job.
well, yeah, the fairing that's on Siren right now is Rattle Can.
Yeah,
It's just
I can
Midnight
tell.
Crimson Rattle Can. Fuck you.
I can tell, but if you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have noticed. But like now that I know, you can tell.
Will not be able to tell on this one, I promise you. But so to dig this, I bring the Sportster to Harley because I bought the VIP package, and they do the 6 oil changes for free. Bring it into them, and first thing I tell them is the O2 sensor's bad. I already know it. Don't try to fix it. I'll replace it next weekend. They call me back today. It's like a mystery call. They're like, you need to call us back. So I call them back, and they're like, oh, well, Jason's not in. You got to call when Jason's in. He's got a message about your bike. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? The dude finally calls me back and goes, yeah, they found something else wrong with your bike. They really recommend a brake flush on your bike. And I went, a brake flush?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I barely ride this bike at all. I put literally, it's got less than 3,000 miles on it. It does not, if it needs
Yeah, I
a
was
brake
gonna say,
valve,
like, how many miles do you actually have on the Sporty?
like 28.5. I barely ride that bike at all. That's the second time it's gone down for that weird error, but now I know it's an O2 sensor because I've learned how to get into the diagnostics. Now they're like, we really need to change that front sensor, and we really need to do a brake oil flush. And I'm like, no, you don't. If it's got less than 3,000 miles, if it needs a brake oil flush already, tell me why. They're like, well, we're just trying to, I think it'd just be best if we did it for you.
Yeah.
And I went,
I mean, I know
"No."
you like riding in the rain, but I'm like, even then, I'm like, you'd have to ride through the rain exclusively to get bad brake fluid in that amount of time.
You have to drive it through a river.
Stop everybody right here.
Yeah.
Okay, what flush
Driving the
is
brakes on.
on a motorcycle that I know how to do And if it's something that I know how to do, it's not a fucking emergency because it's pretty
Yeah.
simple and be
I'm like,
nothing. Oh,
I drove it all the way there. It
Yeah, I
must
was
be
gonna say
okay.
if you drove it there, you could drove it back. That is kind of the one thing because I wanted to get the 2021 as well.
that's fluid in an hour of their time. That's not a fucking emergency.
Well, I looked through the Harley recommended maintenance book, and they recommend you flush and change your brake fluid every year. I'm like,
Like that's typical for like .4 or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I think that's standard, but also you can stretch it. I think
you can
1
go
year, like,
3 years. If you,
Yeah.
I mean, basically, if you start seeing your brake fluid
Well,
any other color than crystal clear, yeah,
Longer.
it's
Still,
gonna
it's like
change it. But
What?
holy shit!
I'm gonna change it on the Scout. Right.
On the BMW, I haven't changed it. I've had it for almost 4 years, and it's still crystal clear. And I will probably do it at the end of next riding season, just because they haven't done it yet.
It ain't.
So-
It's brand specific. Dot is dot. Like, what?
It'll be fine. But I mean, Harley needs to make
just
their
Harley
money.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harley's still a little sore about all of their warranty work. Now they have to cover it all, so now they got to make their money up somehow. Now, they got their heart broken on that
Yeah.
warranty lawsuits, and now they have to make their money somewhere else.
Wait, the lawsuit done what?
So Harley before this, if you did anything to that bike and brought it in for warranty work, they could go, oh, well, you put your custom, spark plug
Yeah.
caps on it. You've changed it. It's not covered under warranty. So they actually sued them in federal court, and federal court said they had to serve, unless it was a direct reason that the warranty or that something happened to the bike that avoided the warranty. They had to